Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 25th episode of Knights of the Turntable. With me, I have AJ.
How you doing?
Gary Swaby, 2 weeks in a row.
What's good?
Matt Dean.
What up, what up?
B. Will.
Once again, what's going on?
Richard is going to come. Joe can't be on this week, unfortunately, because of the Masters Golf Tournament, but we'll have him back next week. And we also have Isaac Jones, who also may be joining us. So we got my dog Stone right there. He's going to be joining us as well. So let's go ahead and start with what we have been listening to. We got some pretty badass topics for this week, so we're going to have to speed through some of this stuff. But Gary Swaby, since I can't pick on Rich right now, what have you been listening to?
I listened to Lupe because, you know, we did the first impressions episode, so I listened to that, and that was cool. And also the Young Buck 10 Bullets mixtape that dropped.
How was that?
I posted it on the Koalition. That's pretty good because it's all solo. There's no features or anything, so you get to really appreciate Young Buck and his skill, and I really like it. What's so funny though?
Carry on.
Nothing.
Yeah, he's an underrated artist, man. He's had some classic records, so it's a dope.
Oh, you know what? On that note, I'm just drinking water today. But anytime you hear the G unit drop, you gotta drink. It ain't even gotta be the whole thing. As long as you hear, all you gotta do is hear that, and you gotta drink. But what else you been listening to?
That's about it.
Gee, you not.
Terrible. Matt Dean.
Honestly, a whole bunch of stuff that's not hip hop. Spun the Universal record again, but a bunch of stuff that's not relevant to this show.
Okay, all right. What's a highlight out of that funky bunch of yours?
I went back and listened to an old record called American Football, which is like from Mike and Nate Kinsella. I don't even know if you know who they are, but like they had a bunch of bands in Chicago in the mid '90s. Like Joan of Arc was another one of theirs. Yeah, it's just kind of weird, kind of. It's not quite pop rock. I don't really know even how you kind of ambient rock, I guess. I hate to use label emo, but some people attach that to it. But
I got you. All right, cool. All right, B. Will.
Well, I put my ears on that Ludiversal. You know, really enjoyed that. I also have been tiptoeing through this Wale very slowly because every track that I like, I'm scared to go to the next track because I'm afraid it's gonna suck. So I'm like listening to one track and then I'll stop like, ooh, that was good. I don't want to start hearing to myself. That's it. I just listened to one like, man, I'm really impressed. And I listened to the second one like, man, this one's dope too. And I got through the third one. And that's it. That's as far as I've gotten. So he's disappointed me. So I'm giving him the Lupe treatment, one at a time. And hopefully I'll make it through the whole thing without being too disappointed. That's what I'm trying to do.
Well,
he needs to get off MMG.
What? No.
It's because he's not a part of
Drink. Garrett, you know, before this album came out, I would agree with you, but now that I've actually heard the album, the fact that he can make an album like this on MMG, man, it's perfectly fine. Because apparently, I guess they just got tired of him whining beforehand and was just like, just do whatever the fuck you want. And he made a better album than what he's done before. So that's cool. AJ, what you been listening to?
Ludiversal. Absol had an album. Is it Mind Control?
Control System.
Controls. There you go.
So you finally gave it a listen.
Don't judge me, fucker.
No, that's a good thing, man.
It very much so is. You goddamn right. And I feel bad that I let myself. Yes. All right. So listen to that. And also, I've liked this artist for a while, Tiny Temper. He has this album, Discovery, and I think that was the latest. No, it should be one after that. Discovery was the first one. It's one after that, but I've been listening to Discovery, and I like that. I also listened to Wonderlust, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds familiar.
It's not more my style, but my brother was like, hey, give it a listen. I did, and I didn't care for it, you know.
Is that the name of the group of the album?
No, it's the name of the album.
That sounds
I think it's either The Dream or something.
But hey, question. Everybody that's on the show, have y'all listened to Control System by Absol yet?
I haven't.
No, I haven't.
No.
I know. Like, damn, we just over here alone.
I assumed that Gary wouldn't. I was 50% on Matt. B Will, after you saw him at the show, you didn't go listen?
Damn.
Man, here's the thing, man. Ab-Soul had a very good amount of, I'd like to say, charisma. He has charisma. Lyrically, I've heard him maybe 3 times, and I've been like, damn, it's not like he's throwing little bars at you and mind-bending, but he's impressive for some reason I couldn't really wrap my mind around. However, I told you that I got a chance to skim through one album of his. I don't know that it was whatever the name of the album you just said was, but I was not impressed. And I was very disappointed, man. When I get my hopes up and I like 2, 3 of your songs, it's like, listen, don't let me down, man, because if you can impress me with that album, I'm going to be a fan for a long time. And
like I didn't KFC.
Basically. So I'm afraid to listen too hard and then be like, fuck Ab-Soul music forever. So I haven't given it the full treatment yet. I have not.
All right, I'm going to link you to a few things. Just make sure you don't listen to These Days, because that was terrible. I don't know if that's the one that you skimmed through, but that is not a good first impression for Ab-Soul.
Oh, it might be. I don't know. Okay. See, send me whatever.
All right. So Kendrick did an interview with Hot 97, and in that interview, Peter Rosenberg dropped a gem in that bad boy that made me think that, hey, we might need to talk about this on the show. I already know Gary disagrees. I think it was Gary. Yeah, Gary disagrees, so it's going to be interesting to hear what he says. But he said with J. Cole and Kendrick at the top of the game right now, arguably so, but I think all of us on the show can kind of agree that they are. He expressed that he doesn't think there's been a time where a couple of the top 3 to 4 artists are, quote, that lyrical and that committed to hip-hop, unquote. Let's discuss this. Gary, you said something about a specific time period where you felt, I'm assuming you thought, go ahead.
Well, we've had a time where Eminem, Jay-Z, and Nas were all active at the same time.
Active, but were they the top 3 artists? They may have been the top 3 artists to us, but were they top 3 artists sales-wise? And because if I'm not mistaken, Lil Wayne was in that top tier at that
This
time.
was before Lil Wayne got super hot.
Then when was it?
This was like early 2000s, man.
Yeah.
Early 2000s, Lil Wayne was highly active. I don't even like the motherfucker, but I know that was his time.
He wasn't selling with that back then.
I mean, what Block is Hot came out in 99, 2000, right? I think somewhere like that.
Yeah, his appeal for Carter and Carter 2, that came much later.
Yep.
So Carter didn't even drop. That didn't drop to what, 2002, 1,
2 or 3.
Yeah, something like that. Because that was the peak of him. Like the decline started probably towards the end,
I would say Carter 3 is his peak, but
I just don't like
Carter 3. Yeah, Carter 3 sadly was the peak because people.
I feel like that's when he.
Carter 2.
Yeah.
I wasn't even a huge Wayne fan at that time, and I still enjoy Carter 3.
That period of time, I hated being in high school because
it was all you heard.
Yes, dog.
Wayne, you got that dedication.
And they were like, I'm Wayne, and I was like, why? Fuck you. I hated that.
I didn't mess with Wayne until Carter 1, and I had to take myself out of it and be like, all right, I'm gonna listen to bullshit. Then I did, and I was like, oh damn, I went and bought it at Target because I was pleasantly surprised.
Stupid.
But okay, so Eminem has never not been on top since he's been on top.
That's true, except for that time he released Relapse.
This was when he was still kind of fresh though.
And when he started,
is the only time he could say he wasn't on top.
That's all.
Yeah, and you know what? Also, Gary.
Yeah.
Well, first, let me welcome Rich. Richard Bailey's on the show now.
Mr.
What's up, Rich?
Bailey?
Hello, hello.
I got a bone to pick. Yeah. You cutting that video on just reminded me I didn't have my bumper up there. Appreciate you. But Gary,
I'm talking when Eminem was still kind of new. I mean, yeah, he was selling tons, but he was still kind of a new artist, just like J. Cole and Kendrick.
You talking about Eminem?
Yeah.
No, we're not arguing
that period of time.
We're agreeing with the Eminem thing. But now, one of the points of what Peter said was that lyrical and dedicated to hip hop. I can leave Eminem in there, but I can't leave Jay-Z in there though.
Well, my question is, are you saying that Eminem was a new artist in the 2000s?
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
That first
pretty much
came out in '99.
those first two albums, like his first two label albums that came out, you know, he was still new.
Mainstream here.
Okay, cool. Well then, go ahead. You got it.
Because what Unlimited
And Jay-Z
came out.
was still
but I'm not
Infinite came out in what '99.
Nowadays, everybody want to talk. They got something to say, but nothing comes out when the movie lives. Just a bunch of British. No shit like that. That was like
That was when.
okay, 2000.
Okay then. All right. So Eminem arguably never came off the top. Even when Relapse was out, he still sold like hotcakes, right? But Jay-Z has not been dedicated to hip hop in the way that J. Cole and Kendrick have.
In no way.
What makes you say that? Like he was.
His music,
Yes, the atrocities he's released.
His music.
He's worse than the G.
But he hadn't released Kingdom Come yet at that point. At the point I'm talking.
But
do you understand what he's saying by dedicated to hip hop? Like the forward progress of it, the uplifting nature of it. J. Cole and Kendrick have that. There have always been artists that do that. There's always been Common. There's always been Mos Def. There's always been Koalition.
Come on, you better do it. You better say the name. Say it.
You can talk. It's a podcast.
It's the podcast.
Okay.
3 stacks, but
goddamn.
these particular artists were not the, mainstream front runners.
They were not driving the narrative of hip hop like J. Cole and.
There you go. That's the best way to say it.
How wasn't Jay-Z doing that?
We're driving.
They already drove it. Jay-Z and Nas already drove it. Their story had already been told.
Jay-Z didn't drive shit on a positive, like,
that's what I'm saying. They drove it, but not in the proper fashion.
Jay-Z was
new artists.
Jay-Z was
artists on Rockefeller.
You said what now?
He was breaking new artists on Rockefeller. That's forward progression right there.
But no, you're missing. Take Lupe Fiasco's topic matter and make it more digestible. That's what J. Cole and Kendrick have.
Okay,
Hey, that's a good way to put that.
Right.
So you're talking in terms of like content and
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to play devil's advocate
craftsmanship.
Because in a sense, I do agree with you, but why does uplifting nature and things of that sort? Why is that progress, right? What is progressive about that?
Whoa. Pause.
What isn't progressive about any change in art?
But wait, you're being devil's advocate to whom? This is not my statement. This is Peter Rosenberg saying that.
Okay, well, I'm playing devil's advocate with Peter Rosenberg.
Okay, so the statement he made is that artists like these two have never been in the top 4 artists at one time, right? So what you're saying is a completely different topic that we're actually going to get to at the end of the show. That's the last topic that we speak on.
Maybe I was just prepping our minds for it, prepping our audience's minds for it. That's what I'm going with.
Yo, there was another period too.
What's that?
You had Joe Budden,
No.
Fabulous, Freeway, and 50 Cent all at the same time.
Don't get me wrong. I personally I like Joe Budden.
I like Joe Budden, but I'm not.
You cannot compare him to what's going on now, dog. You can't compare Joey Budden to Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, even then and now. Now he's gotten like more lyrical, but he just isn't relevant.
Put it like this. I'm trying to find the best way to word this because I think we're missing the mark on what he means. Maybe if I describe Kendrick and J. Cole as socially influential artists.
You damn right.
I mean, you can rip that apart and be like, well, T-Pain and all these dance rappers.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But you know what I mean, like in a more progressive manner. And I know what Matt's gonna say, but we're gonna address the whole conscious progression towards the end of the show. But if we go with the whole socially progressive at the base of the term, have we had a time period like we have now, where the hottest artists were those guys?
So wait, so who are the artists? It's J. Cole.
J. Cole and Kendrick. Yes.
And who? Who else?
Kendrick Lamar. How could you not know that?
No. Now, he said 2 of the artists in the top 4.
Yeah.
Because Drake is in there, but he ain't one of them.
That's true.
Well, wait a second. What? So Drake is in the top.
That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for someone to say Drake because, like, in my opinion, that's a hell no. Like
he's in the top 4. We're not arguing against him.
Lyrically, you can give him that, but content-wise, like, he's spitting sim shit. So
yeah, that's why I can't.
Who was the other artist in this top 4?
It was no like definitive top 4.
I don't even want to say it, but it's true.
And who was that?
Kanye West.
Oh.
No.
I agree with that one.
No.
When his songs come out, it's a big fucking deal, no matter how bad it is. When his album comes out, it's a big fucking deal, no matter how bad it is. Just like with Drake, without a mixtape, no matter how bad it was.
I don't think you can honestly sit here and put Kanye West up there with those 3 because they're.
I think you can.
I think you can when it comes to College Dropout.
No, we're not. But look, okay, so you have Drake, you have Kendrick, you have J. Cole. What hip hop artist tops Kanye West to get that 4 spot?
Wait. What are we talking about? Tell me what we're talking about.
Mass appeal, because we're not talking about who's a better rapper, because this whole list would change.
If we're talking about mass appeal, we can't really talk about J. Cole, honestly.
But look at
we're talking about just numbers. We're talking about just numbers.
Yes. Damn. J. Cole's mass appeal has changed from before that album, because we'd be having a different conversation to after that album. Because he made it about his fans, going to their houses, signing their albums and all that stuff. He sold, over 300,000 off jump. You can't take him out of that equation. No one else has done that but 2 artists in this time period that we're talking about. Right?
This market, 300K is a lot, man. This ain't the 90s where you can poop out a platinum record every week.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, then who? Like, I mean, Eminem. We could throw Eminem up there, but
I would put Kanye West there.
I can't put Kanye there, man. It's like Kanye doesn't make good. He hasn't made good music.
If you're saying socially progressive, then Kanye West is up there.
No, I can't.
Based on past.
Actually, no. He did attempt to be socially progressive in Yeezus. It just sounded so bad.
Yeah, Yeezus. You need.
I was wondering what he was going to say.
Last thing I liked from Kanye was 808s, and we're getting almost a decade on that, right? Like 7 years.
But mass appeal, like hip hop artists, if you take yourself out of the American comfort zone and look at America from the outside, who's selling, like who's hot in the U.S. Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, and then who?
Kanye is pretty much running off reputation right now, and for that reason, I don't count him as influential because everything that he's making, he's getting these younger artists and producers, and then slapping a verse on it. It's like everybody else is making his music. He's not even making it, so everybody is just checking him out for the sake of, oh, that's Kanye. What's Kanye doing? He's gonna be doing it.
You could say that Drake is running off of reputation too.
Well,
because of that mixtape, yes, he is.
Wait, you know what? I meant to say that to y'all because I wasn't on the show, but I listened when y'all said it was garbage. And you know what? We'll get into that later, though. We're going to get into that.
Uh-oh. Shots fired.
I'm not even the Drake stan like that, but it was definitely not garbage. But we shall press on. Let's press on.
I don't. Can I say Big Sean?
No.
Big Sean's not bigger than Kanye.
As far as sales go,
but he sold well. Last album sold well.
Yeah, he did great. His last album did great. He'd be in the top 10, but it's over Kanye.
I'm just saying, as far as like what's moving.
Let me ask you a question. How is Kanye on there when he didn't even drop the new album yet?
That's what I was saying.
That's more testament to Kanye's influence than anything. Because it's the whole Paul McCartney bullshit. Did you just put more faith in the chat conversation?
Whoa! You net.
Did you not?
Please drink. What time period? It was like 2 months ago? every week we had something they were talking about Kanye, whether it was about interviews or something he said in it, or the songs that he put out.
That would be media. That's not him being influential as an artist.
Right.
Mass appeal, influence.
Well,
the people, the way
fucking
the
Jay-Z
views and
then.
shit.
When it's saying it's fucking Jay-Z.
But has he been in anything? He hasn't been in interviews. Look, he hasn't been. Do you not understand what the fuck I'm saying? Like,
yes, I do. What you're saying. By reputation, you're saying just in the recent period, you gave a period of 2 months. Okay, take that shit away from Kanye West. You mean to tell me?
No, I was just saying that he had interviews in 2 months. I wasn't setting a bar.
Okay, what I'm saying, as far as if you're saying mass appeal, reputation, Jay-Z could make a track with fucking a no name and people would go out and buy it. He could release an album right now and people would go and purchase it.
But
hold on a second.
But okay, so say that about Jay-Z. But who has a song? So, okay, put them on the same level.
Hey, I got one. I think I got one. Tech 9.
But but Tech 9.
Tech 9 sells super crazy for what he is. Like, he sells pretty well.
Crazy for independent.
But he has a huge.
Hey, listen. I like to make a comment.
Go ahead.
Jay-Z belonged in the discussion because everybody was talking about where he got his ass whooped by Solange in that elevator.
Right?
Okay.
He just bought Tidal.
I'll finish this. So he bought Tidal, and he got his ass whooped by Solange. And Kanye been in the interviews and everything. Take them both.
And his wife is fine.
Put out music that people are buying.
Did he? The last album he made came
We're not talking about the last album.
I'm saying as far as his music. If he were the last album he made, we're just going as that being the music that he's put out, right? Last album he made, it sold. I don't know the numbers, but I'm saying that somebody bought it. I didn't buy the shit. It's moving somewhere.
What are you talking about?
So Jay-Z. Jay-Z has a following.
Jay-Z forced everyone to buy it.
But he has a following as far as
no
mass
one's
appeal.
arguing that.
So in comparison,
the argument is Kanye's bigger than Jay-Z right now.
Yeah, I agree with Charles because Kanye literally put out a clear disc and it sold.
What clear?
Like this. Plastic ass, empty ass case.
Are you shitting me?
Dead ass with a piece of red tape. Or it looked like red tape. It was supposed to be red tape. That's what this case was.
When did that come out?
That was Yeezus.
That was Yeezus. No cover art.
It looked like it was the burn master that you give that when you're in the studio and they're like, yeah, I'm done. Like, that's what they give you. And he was like, oh, wait, this is artistic. Let me just print it like this. And everybody was like, oh, man, this is so artistic. Man, get your dumb ass out of here.
Just like Lupe put out that all black everything. Like, it was no writing, no nothing. It was all black sheet, black booklet with black pages and black disc. Food and Liquor too.
Hey, I want to go get that. That sounds cool.
But okay, so can anyone put anyone else up above Kanye right now?
Could we put Lupe in there?
Off topic. We're just trying to set the top four.
That's true.
Well, you know what?
Segues into our next one. Can we put Lupe in there?
I'm finished. What did you say, B-Will?
I was gonna say, really, Peter Rosenberg wasn't even discussing definitive top four. He said two of the top four.
That's why I'm trying to set, like, who is the top four, because y'all kept asking. I'm trying to get back to the point.
I think it's three in the field. It's Drake, Kendrick, Cole, and the field. I really can't put anybody else up there.
Okay, all right. Well, to eliminate that part and get to the point, that's the top three.
Okay,
we'll leave it at the top three.
Yeah.
Now, out of those top three, two of them are more socially influential.
Yes.
On a positive note. And have we had a time period where the top three in hip hop had that influence?
No, it's gonna be back in the 90s.
Back in the 90s and early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
You can't say early 2000s because seriously, no Cash Money.
But that was like at the
man. You know what though? We could argue that Back That Ass Up was a universal good. Well, I think we can make that argument. I think we can make that argument.
Hey, that's not like progressive, good, positive black shit, but that, you ain't lying. They could play that bitch now. Somebody's shaking that ass.
that is a universal, it is a timeless, universal good. It's like you always got songs where chicks gonna run out on the floor and start twerking. And when you was growing up in high school, college, it's like you like that song, you know what I'm saying? It's like it depends on if she likes it or not. Back that ass up was the universal. It did not matter. She didn't want to dance. She wasn't comfortable. She ain't wasn't having a good time. No, she is on the floor twerking that ass. That is a good thing.
Please tell me you done seen that Vine where this girl has like a Beats pill and she walk over there and she got her mama on camera. Her mama just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, my mama had ass too.
What about like late 80s, early 90s when we had shit like KRS-One and Rakim and Big Daddy Kane and shit like that? Like
I wish I could have been aware of hip hop at the time. I was like 5, 6, you know what I'm saying? So it's like at that time there was not a commercial hierarchy for hip hop. It's like everybody was doing everything and everybody was appreciating everything. However, hip hop was not a commercial juggernaut yet. So
and honestly, it's like they all were selling the same anyway. It wasn't really like a top artist out of that group of people during that time period, like the KRS and everything. I guess like during the run of Run DMC, they were probably the top though.
Yeah. Hey, I got a question.
Go.
So where does DMX fall in this conversation? Because that's an example of what not to do.
He's out looking for his dog.
Hey, and he was in the 2000s.
He was though.
DMX had one of the biggest hip hop releases.
That's after he fell off.
Yeah, 50 was like the next DMX.
You said what?
What? What did you just say?
It's true in terms of that raw street energy and a big release and everything. Like he was like the next DMX.
What happened? What happened to 50?
He's still doing good. He's
He's
still putting out music, man.
He started taking lyrical bullets from like every artist.
like,
Yeah, he ended careers.
Yeah, he ended one career.
You know the mistake.
He ended one career.
He ended
Oh, wait, who was number 2?
Fat Joe had a career?
Fat Joe had a career. He ended Ja Rule's too.
Nah, he ended Ja Rule. Fat Joe.
Where's Cameron?
Fat Joe got his ass whooped. That's what
Fat
his
Joe had a
career.
You know the mistake 50 Cent made that fucked up his mass appeal?
Fucking with Jada Kiss?
No, trying to go one-on-one against Kanye West in the album sales.
Oh, no, that was for publicity. That was straight publicity.
I know that, but that defined his lack of mass appeal compared to Kanye.
You know, it's a lot of motherfuckers.
Remember that?
I think
50 Cent sold more worldwide.
Damn!
What'd you say?
Yo, I gotta set the record straight. 50 Cent sold more worldwide than Kanye West.
Woo! Woo!
Kanye West sold more in America.
Oh, we definitely finna get that shit.
Yeah, we're gonna Google that. I know you ain't hit us with the other zine.
Finna get that shit a Google.
And I'm talking like first week or whatever, first month or whatever.
We're
They
not
was
talking
judging
about
it off of.
long.
Are you sure about that? Even then, I don't think he's right. So look that up. But so can anyone say, like we just waxed poetic about the whole different time periods? Do y'all feel that he was right in saying that we haven't had artists this lyrical and that committed to hip hop or the essence of hip hop?
I would say we haven't had that since the golden age, like 87 to 92, 93, whatever you want to call it. When those artists like De La Soul and Tribe Called Quest, all of them were kicking new records. I don't think we've had it since then as far as commercial appeal is concerned. But it's always existed in the independent and the underground. Always. It's always been.
Yeah. Right, yeah. In that sense, I think he's right. It's in the sense of who has the attention of the game, who's selling, who's the biggest name, and they care to make it about hip hop, about the quality of the music. Yeah. This is the first time in a long time.
All right, cool. Any last words on that topic?
I want to hear what Rich has to say about that.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, I have no choice but to agree. I wasn't alive back in the 70s. I was born in the 80s, so I mean, I can't really say socially. I don't know how the music influenced the social atmosphere, because I wasn't young enough to understand that at the time. So, but I guess I would have to agree.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move into the next topic. If you were unaware, Lupe Fiasco has put out a sort of call to arms for the Society of Spoken Art, which we didn't, honestly, other than the initial post that was put out, we don't know much about this particular thing. I will read what was said on the first page of it. It says the sole mission of the Society of Spoken Art is to create fellowship among rappers and MCs across the globe with the goal of progressing and cultivating the art form of rap through workshop, coaching, development programs, mentorships, intense study, and practice based on a diverse and immersive curriculum. That is all we know right now, other than the application form to put it to put your information in. But let's get the thoughts from everybody and see. Oh well, AJ has.
No, I have something to say first.
Okay.
I got something to say.
That boy was right.
What's the amount?
There you go. There you go.
That boy is right.
What's the amount so we can go?
His first album sold 12 million worldwide.
We're not talking about. We're talking about that album against that album.
Which is no. We're talking about. He's talking about. I thought he said record sales. That boy sold more.
50 Cent, Graduation versus the album. Do y'all not remember when this was?
I remember.
It was
I wasn't talking
Graduation.
about like lifetime albums.
Yeah, because he
But the
still
lifetime
sold more than
thing
Kanye
proves
West,
it too.
and Kanye didn't release more albums than him.
Okay.
The
Damn.
lifetime thing proves it too.
Hey, all right. Well, I give boy you validated.
Well, we got to give MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice some love too, then, right? You know what I'm saying?
Because they still selling.
Nelly got to be up there. You know what I'm saying? That person has to do it.
What about Murphy Lee?
Murphy Lee.
Yeah, let him stay on the.
Back to the topic. Y'all are terrible. Why y'all had to bring up Murphy Lee like that?
He's got some good features, man. Like they're not like good lyrically, but they're fun.
Yeah.
Like his feature on fucking Air Force Ones, like I still think that's a fun feature.
He clowned the Rock the Mic remix.
He clowned around, man. That's what he did.
Can't get Nelly, you'll settle for who, boy?
But that's sad, man. Just like Joe said, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was making us believe that Murphy Lee was up next.
Hey, man, I miss you, brother, because Joe be saying some shit.
All right, so back to Lupe.
I have a question.
What's up?
All about this topic, actually.
Okay.
So, is Lupe trying to put together a group that you will have to have a book to understand exactly what they're talking about when they're talking songs left and right?
I think he's trying to make a group that he can write a comic book about.
I want to say what I think he's trying to do. If you look at it as far as the length of it, this could legitimately go left or right, good or bad. It's going to be like a college for artists, which you can basically take like prison to just produce different types of motherfuckers to come out, or you could take it like a college to produce other different types of motherfuckers to come out. It's just going to be kind of like a place where you have to apply to be accepted, and this person that is sitting at this desk gets to decide whether or not you get to be a part of this. And then we're going to we're going to develop you in the ways of the art of Food and Liquor and Food and Liquor 2. And then we're going
so it's like the Masons for hip hop.
That is a good statement.
I'll take that.
That's a good statement. B. Will,
Get a bumper sticker to put in your car and everything.
Man, you know what's crazy about this is that I thought about this like a long time ago. Like, what if everything? This is back when everything was so terrible, and it was really just about selling records. Like between 2000, I say like 2001 and 2006. Those are the dark days, man. But like, what if everybody who you respected came together and they made a council, if you will. Let's make it dramatic. It's a council. Yeah. And every time somebody released a record, like it goes through review through this council. And if your shit was trash, it's like, no, you don't get to release this shit. This is terrible. Like, no, I'm trying to think.
Tribunals and shit.
Like, no D4L. No D4L. You can't make an album. Just make another single. Don't waste our time.
I would love that.
Come up with a new dance, and then we'll get back at you later. Like, it's real. Like if it was comprised of like two people of different styles of hip hop, like you had like a RZA as a producer on one end, but you also had like Alchemist as a producer on the other end. Like you had a lyrical person, let's say Eminem as a judge of lyricism, but also a damn, like who's somebody Southern that's just like Andre 3000
Soldier Boy.
as a lyrical.
All right.
Yeah. So there are contrasts in style, but
all perspectives of the game.
Yeah,
He really stood Soldier Boy.
But
I'm just saying, like, then it becomes the spring.
Y'all so stupid, man. But in this sense, of course, it's not that widespread because the people who control and run the game are not necessarily involved with it. This seems to be more of a grassroots kind of from the community. And the thing is, we don't know the scope of it. That's the thing we don't know. We don't know the aim of it. Like, is it really to educate people who want to make music, or is it to affect the game at large by getting kind of a best of the people who care about what the music is about? That's what we don't know. And because of that, it's like, it's hard to say what this could or could not be. Like AJ said, this could go way right. This could be an extreme good in that sense, because you could find some really hidden gems, people who communicate well, who want to make music, who want to do more of what Kendrick Lamar just did. And except now, if you put them all together, let's get some producers who are actually competent, and let's do this. But at the same time, you also got the ability for, like, I forgot who said it. Was it Matt? Was that
man, I say a lot of shit.
When he was like, he's gonna make a group that basically nobody wants to listen to because they're way too fucking wordy. And that is the negative potential for this kind of thing. But it's interesting. It's an interesting notion. I'm waiting to see how much of a support Lupe is gonna be. Is he really gonna put his name on this, or is he really just putting it out there so some people he knows can?
To me, it almost sounds like he's trying to start an imprint.
I think so too.
Like, it looks like he's trying to find a roster.
I agree. That's what I think as well.
I like to make a comment. You know, I wish Lupe the best with this venture, but I have a very hard time believing him because I thought that he went on Twitter. This guy's still on Twitter.
Yeah, he did come back to Twitter.
So yeah, I mean, let him show me something before I'm gonna get excited. I want to see what it is that he's trying to do, though.
Richard, you gonna sign up? You gonna write your 300-word essay and produce a track?
That's the problem. They may want somebody a little bit too wordy, so I don't really know if that's gonna work out.
One thing I have as a concern for this is Lupe has tried this before, and I don't know if y'all remember, but he did do All City Chess Club, which was a similar notion, and nobody's talking about it now. It didn't last very long. It didn't reach its full potential, so I'm worried about it in that way. It was a good roster of people, but it didn't execute in the long run.
What about Child Rebel Soldier?
That was only 3 people. I was going to mention that too, but that's only 3 people. I mean, that wasn't necessary.
Yeah, but now he's off of he was on Universal, right? No, Atlantic.
Yeah, he's off of there now.
Yeah, so maybe that when he came up with those other collectives, was he still tied to Atlantic? I assume he was still tied to Atlantic, right?
You are correct.
So maybe that's why he's thinking, all right, maybe I'll give it another go. I don't got Atlantic bossing me around anymore. I can make the music I want to make and find the people that I want to make it with.
Yeah, this is prime time to do it. Plus, considering you mentioned he could be trying to get a roster together, and this is something that he hinted at after he dropped Tetsuo and Youth, that because they were like, you're going independent now, and he was like, that's not entirely true. I may find a group of people that I feel like I can work with creatively, because being independent doesn't immediately equate to success, and
right.
Being signed onto a label doesn't automatically mean failure either. It's just you got to be in a better situation. But Gary, what do you think about this?
All I know is a year from now, you're going to see me blow up and be the hottest artist in the UK, thanks to Lupe Fiasco. So
just make sure you have undecipherable metaphors and a banjo, and you're golden. You're going to win.
Oh yeah, I'll work on that.
Banjo.
I'm telling you, man. Lupe loves the banjo.
Hey, but you know what? I do have a question since you brought up the roster talk. Now, I know you said independent will probably be the focus, but let me ask you a question. If there were any other artists out there now making music that he could potentially get on this team, who would those artists be?
Mick Jenkins.
There's going to be a lot of people from Chicago. But
Chicago.
Chief
It's
Keef.
tough. Oh my goodness. Can we block him like permanently? He just got back.
Yo, AJ said Soldier Boy earlier, bro.
Yeah, you saw that look I gave him? But look, the thing is, like, there are some artists I can think of, but they're doing well right now, and I don't want Lupe to get his hands on them. And fuck that up, basically. Because like
the Chicago scene's fine as it is. It just needs to keep doing what it's already doing. We're gonna like what comes out of it.
Lupe's influence. Well, I actually started writing a list of artists I felt should apply to Lupe school. But I only put one person on that list, and it was Saha the Prince, because I feel like he needs to go to Lupe school. But that's it. I didn't put no more on there. But
and then go ahead, grab the St. Lunatics, put them back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, go ahead and get Murphy Lee. But is there anyone y'all think, like, all jokes aside, who would y'all like in the lyrical guild? Lupe's lyrical guild, LLG. That's the label. That's the label right there. LLG. Who's on this label? The current contracts don't matter. Everybody's a free agent.
Sage Francis.
Say it again?
Sage Francis.
I know Sage Francis. I don't think anybody else on the show does.
I think he'd be a good fit for it.
I don't know who that is. I gotta learn. I gotta figure out who that is.
All right, Sage Francis is dope. All right, everybody got to give one. Rich.
How about Rhapsody?
Okay.
All
right, I can fuck with that. Gary Swaby. If you say 50 Cent, we got a problem.
There was a lot of names bouncing around in my head.
We can come back to you. Be Will.
Yeah.
Man, you know I don't listen to too many people, man. I really don't have any ideas who would fit. I want to disagree with Rhapsody just because she seems so much more neo-soul than Lupe can accommodate.
But do we not think that these artists will influence him as much as he will influence them?
I mean, that's really the question, though, isn't it? We don't know exactly what this is going to be. It's hard to say what the nature of the relationship will be between these artists and him. So we can't say whether they would be good for him or he would be good for them or they would be terrible for him or vice versa. We really can't say. So I have a hard time picking one out here.
AJ? Two Chains?
No.
Tupac? He's alive, you know.
Papoose.
Oh, that's a good fit. That's a good fit.
I think it's not a good fit as far as the way that they rap, but as far as lyrical ability, I feel as though Papoose will be a good fit lyrically with the people that can be considered able to meaningfully represent themselves on a beat. And of course, Andre 3000.
I'm disappointed.
He doesn't need that.
I'm disappointed.
I do.
Three Stacks doesn't need that, but
he doesn't need it.
I'm gonna put two names on there.
I don't think they need it. It's just I feel as though when I think of, I'm gonna say it's not like I'm shitting on anyone or anything. When I feel as though someone that is, when I heard a song, they moved me like Lupe did, you know, and that he's been. I'm not gonna say just consistent, but when he gets on the microphone, you want to hear it and you want to listen to it over again because you want to feel it. Me personally, when I hear Papoose, that man had a line where he said, "If my arms are long enough to box God, I'ma weave them." Dog, this is like you get this shit from like that Papoose. It moved me. You don't have to care for it, but I feel as though Papoose lyrically would be a good fit as far as lyric ability.
I haven't even said nice.
Papoose.
Let's just say
nice.
Andre 3000.
Okay, I'm gonna explain to you why I'm disappointed on two fronts.
Okay.
One, Papoose, cool. Old Papoose, real good. Enjoyed him. I've listened to more current Papoose. I don't feel like he can go back to that old form. And I'm also, the reason I'm disappointed you said him is because I feel like Chameleonaire would be more of a fit than Papoose.
I wanted to, but everyone shits on me when I say what I feel. Everybody get, okay. That was the first name
Now the other disappointment is that you said three Stacks as a student in this group. I feel like he beat.
I thought you said as a guild. No, you said they were on like equal terms. I ain't say nothing about a student. That motherfucker don't need lessons from nobody.
I feel like 3 Stacks would be in there teaching one of these classes. Goddamn right. It'd
Yo,
be
I
the
got a pick
longest,
now.
most drawn out class in that mug.
But you learned the world, nigga.
But my two artists that I would, or actually I only have one, and my one artist is Absol. And the reason why is because I have seen his incredible potential, and I heard these days, and I don't want that to happen again.
You
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I know Gary said you got to pick, but let me ask you a question since you just said Absol. What about your boy J-Rock? You got to show him some love too.
To be honest with you, yeah, because like.
But the thing is, when I think about J-Rock, my memories of him go back further than most people that know him now, is because I see him as Strange Music with Tech Nine. I don't think he need no help outside of Tech Nine.
No.
It's fair
And
enough.
I think Strange Music fits his lane more than a Lupe collaboration with J-Rock would work.
That brings up another name for me, B.O.B.
He could use it. He could. When B.O.B., when he was a part of All City Chess Club, was by far a better B.O.B. than what we have right now. So I think that would be dope to have B.O.B. in that group. He's creative. He's talented.
Right.
Dude got talent.
Right.
Dude got skill. Like,
I feel like most of the names
Go ahead. No,
I
go.
was gonna say I feel like most of the names we're gonna get out of this are going to be exactly that, no names, right? We're gonna look at this list and go, who the fuck is that?
Uh-oh.
And I think that's part of the point.
Wait a minute.
No, that's what I get what he's saying, because when I was throwing these names out there, I was like, who would go up there like to be, when you were like the guild, you said the Lupe lyrical guild or whatever. I thought it was gonna be people that were gonna be like the Justice League. They were gonna be equals and shit, not people who are gonna be his
But what does that have to
pupils.
do with him saying there'd be no name?
Because if you want someone to be
think you're
someone's
gonna find new
pupil,
artists.
you expect that to be a great teacher. If you're gonna be Lupe Fiasco teaching these people, they're gonna be no names.
But the names that we've said are not no names.
Okay, well that's why we
That's-
have misconception.
Right. I don't think there would be the sign up form with the putting your MP3 out there and the
You're
300
talking about what
words.
actually is going to
I think what actually is going to happen is we're going to get a list after he's all said and done with this project. We're going to get a list, and we're not going to have heard of any of them. That's not to say they're not good.
None of the people that we mentioned are going to apply for this.
Wait, hold on.
We're talking hypothetically.
Except
Right.
Sahara Prince. He really might apply. He needs to. I'm going to try to find him and make him do it.
Damn it.
But go ahead, Rich.
Oh no, I saw Gary.
Yeah, am I allowed to have 3 picks?
You got 3?
Are they all on G Unit?
No, none of them. So I tried to stay clear of all East Coast artists because those are like my favorites. But yeah, I chose Currency first because I used to listen to his music a lot a few years ago, and he's nice. He just needs some guidance, I think.
Yeah.
Second one is Charles Hamilton. I know Charles Hamilton's from Harlem, but you know he's nice.
That's
He's
a great
dope.
one.
And Childish Gambino.
Hey, boy, that was pretty damn good.
That's a pretty sweet little joke that you threw in there in the school, man. That's actually not bad at all.
Damn. I'm glad we gave you time.
But so like final word on this topic. What do y'all really hope actually comes from this? From a realistic perspective, what do y'all want this to do as far as hip hop is concerned?
Conflict.
Expand.
B. Will gave his example of how he wished that once upon a time there would be a guild. They would come together and make sure that it was kind of like a filter to sift all the bullshit out of hip hop, right? To ensure that you had to pass these checks and balances before you could release an album. We've gone beyond that. It's shit out there. It's got its own branch now. Now, all you can do is conflictually weed out the bullshit. Meaning, you get these people, they become greats. Not even just greats, they become good fucking artists. And they show what real music's supposed to be as opposed to the bullshit.
All right, Richard Bailey.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great point he just said. I'm not really sure how that will work if they have to compete against the, multi-billion-dollar companies that are releasing this garbage. But if you was to ask me specifically what I want from this, when I saw it, I thought this was about to be him teasing another album he's working on with a whole bunch of collaborations. Hopefully that's what it is. That's what I want, because I was not so.
That's a shame. Matt Dean.
I guess just a bunch of good music to listen to, right? Like at the end of the day, what I want to see is just some good intellectual hip hop, which is what I hope we'll get. Oh, and one other note, I was thinking an artist that isn't huge, it isn't even signed, that I feel would make a good fit for this would be. Remember that kid Wise from a few months ago?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about Wise too.
Yeah, just even his style, right? His lyrical style is kind of metaphorical, right? Like I think he would be a good fit for something like this.
Yeah.
Artists like that, artists that have 10,000 views on YouTube and that's it. You know, like I feel like there's probably a whole slew of them out there.
Yeah, I agree. While we were sitting here talking about this, I was thinking that I should hit Wise up and make sure he even knew about this because I would actually.
Right, he should submit something.
Yeah, definitely. Gary.
I just want to see it come to fruition because I'm kind of scared that this is just going to be some BS that doesn't happen. But yeah, if it does happen, it could be a real positive thing, and you know we could get some great talent out of it.
Word, be Will.
Yeah, I'm like everybody else. I'm definitely hoping it happens first of all, and then second of all, it ends up being kind of like I don't want to say an all-star team because everybody would be good enough to be a part of this, because it would be outstanding. But that they would kind of come together as a collaborative and make some outstanding stuff. That there are some checks and balances, quality of production and lyrical. Everything is a check so that they can make sure they put out some product that people who really listen to music will enjoy all the
time. Word up.
May I say one last thing before we move on?
Yep.
One thing I don't want to see is this being used as a platform just to promote Lupe, right? Like, I don't want him to make a collaboration album that is him spitting on every track and, here's all these guys I found. Like, I want to see full EP projects from these guys. Whoever he finds, I want to see him develop them as artists, not them develop Lupe further.
Yeah, I don't think he'll do that. Out of everything,
I hope not. But like what was that? I think it was called the Re-Up, that Eminem project he did, where he found old people from his hood and people that he was associated with and put them all on one album. And sure, there was some great stuff on there, but don't really listen to any of those artists, right? Like some people might, but for the most part, you don't really listen to that stuff. I don't want to see that. I don't want to just see him make this project and promote it, one collab album with 7 different artists on it, and then be done with it and go on to the next thing. Like I want to see him actually play A&R and really develop new talent.
Gotcha. Yeah,
in whatever direction it is, that's going to be a Lupe direction, sure, but I don't want him to use it to promote himself necessarily.
Gotcha. All right, well, let's go ahead and move into the next topic. Everyone knows, for the most part, about the line on Kendrick Lamar's Hood Politics where he says that, say what?
If you did, Killer Mike would be platinum.
Yeah. It was like critics saying that they miss when hip-hop is rapping. If you did, then Killer Mike would be platinum. So this one is going to be a quick topic. Just he reacted to it. Killer Mike didn't realize that Kendrick listened to his music. He spoke on that, and he also spoke on the fact that he would like to have a much longer career. Well, he's kind of just branched off into that, which was interesting. But let's just get brief thoughts on Killer Mike responding to that. Do you want to start, sir?
Rich is here. I like hearing what Rich has to say.
No, okay, we're gonna get to him.
Okay,
okay, Rich.
Well, yeah, here's a little funny note. I know that you guys always say, "Oh, Rich is listening to, he's in 2015 now. He's listening to music, stuff like that." But let me tell you something, Jack. I saw this long before it ended up in the show notes. So, I'm. yeah. So let me go ahead and say this. Great to hear him say that. I know Killer Mike when he was with Outkast. I liked a lot of the work he did when he was with Outkast. I haven't heard any of his recent stuff, so this made me want to go back and listen to some of his recent stuff. But it was great to have him acknowledge the respect that he has for Kendrick and vice versa. How it felt to get recognized, because I know a lot of people don't listen to him. I know he had a lot to say about Ferguson. That's why I want to hear what he said in the Run the Jewels and all the other stuff, but I just haven't listened to it yet.
Oh, man, you got to. Run the Jewels is dope. Both of them. Really, really, really good. Matt Dean.
Oh, sorry. What's up? I had Madison walk in. I had the mic muted for a moment.
Oh, okay. Well,
My thoughts on the topic. Not really listening to Killer Mike. I can kind of respect like this whole idea of having an artist that you really respect, really enjoying their music, right? Or whatever it is, like that whole concept, like artists have talked about before, that even they get starstruck, right? Like even big name artists get starstruck when they get to another artist that they really appreciate, or another artist compliments their work. I would feel the same way if I was him, I guess.
Word. Be Will?
Well, I think it's a big thing because, like we've talked about with Kendrick up to this point, he is on top of the mountain right now. So anything he brings attention to is going to get some attention. Like I'm sure that Big Mike, Killer Mike got some hits off of that. He got some iTunes buys. He got some Spotify plays off of just that mention right there. And then us talking about it again, the media talking about that mention as well. So it's good that he wants to bring attention to people who are really rapping. I think it's fantastic, man. Everything that Kendrick is doing right now, while he's got the spotlight, that is illuminating some dark corners and also kind of breaking down some walls. It's great.
Yeah, the approach you took is kind of how I felt about it. I felt like, even though it was a quick mention, it wasn't a feature. I felt like it held the same weight as Rhapsody being featured on there, because her and Killer Mike kind of floating in the same area. You heard about them, that's cool, but they're not going to be blasted everywhere. But someone like Kendrick bringing attention to them, like you said, got them a few more plays, a few more hits, may have created a new fan out of it. And I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Especially with the type of person Killer Mike is. Especially like, you get deeper into it, the subject matter of a lot of the things Kendrick talked about, especially on Black of the Berry. Killer Mike has kind of been at the forefront of those kinds of discussions, but there's a lot of people that don't even know who he is. So
right.
I'm just glad that he, quality listens to quality. They're both high quality artists, and I'm glad that he also mentioned that he was, trying to be like Scarface and Bun B, because I feel as though being from the South, them being from the South and making music in the South and topics that relate to something, someone like me really closely, I'm glad to hear their names mentioned as well.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's just attention brought to Mike, more attention brought to those legends, basically. I noticed you did not say E40, and that is cool.
Oh, well, I didn't mention E40 simply because if you compare the three names that he mentioned, in all honesty, longevity and quality, and I'm not trying to shit on E40 because I'm sure he has a fan base in the Bay that is ridiculous, but in comparison to Scarface, like UGK, Bun B, being a part of UGK Underground, they've been doing it for a long ass time, and they can still get on the track and get on.
Yeah, E40 did that Big Sean joint, and I still.
That's true. Yeah. That's true, and it was cool.
It's cool. Shoot, longevity. Snoop is like.
That's another thing. I was thinking that too. Like Snoop, he could still be featured on somebody's song in what 90s?
Yeah, Snoop about to come back with another one too.
That's true. Like he was alive when Tupac was alive. He was rapping then. Like Snoop is another name you can mention.
Yeah.
50 Cent.
50 Cent, man. You net. But 50 Cent, he wasn't about that back then.
50 Cent was 2000s.
No. He talked about like before then. 50 Cent was like rapping then, but he wasn't just like big name until he came back.
He's been rapping since the club.
Oh, you rocking off 50 Cent's on longevity. He has like more the longevity of like that fly you can't kill in your house.
Yeah, he ain't lying.
You can't get rid of it. It's just there.
He's like LL Cool J.
Yeah, LL Cool J, same thing. He will not go away. Like he has just enough connections with that homeboy that'll give him that dope
LL Cool J has a new show, man.
Yeah,
but he's serving his fan base.
It's tangent to everything that we're talking about, but I watched that some bitch the other day.
What is it?
Remember I showed you John
Jay's new show?
Oh,
that's his show.
Oh, goodness.
I like it. I've seen both episodes too. I thought it was fun.
That's why they made That's why they made the show, because
let him stick to that. He ain't doing no albums. Like
with LL Cool J, I knew his career was over when I saw him on WrestleMania.
What?
But Snoop was on there too, though.
When's
His
the
career's
last
over
time?
too. His rap career is over too.
I saw that. Absolutely ridiculous. Snoop Dogg.
Word. But let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, which I'm curious to hear these dream concerts. We're gonna have a discussion about what our dream concert would be. We have to list the opener, the special guest, and who the headliner is for our concert. And I didn't limit it to hip hop. It could be anything from any era, whatever you want to do. Is anyone just absolutely ready to present theirs right now? Because I know it's put some pressure. Okay, so AJ is ready to present his right now. Go ahead.
All right.
You're setting the standard right now.
I am, which is why I think I should probably have gone last, because this is like, as an opener.
Mm-hmm.
An opener, I would want someone, younger, more relatable right now that's out there. So it's going to be Kendrick Lamar. That's my
Okay, that's your opener.
All right.
Okay.
Now, since he's going to be the tire, the special guest is going to be Andre 3000 for me. But the headliner is going to be Lauryn Hill.
Kendrick, Andre 3000, into Lauryn Hill. That's a pretty solid lineup. I can't be mad at that. Some of it's a little unexpected. Others.
That's why he's the guest artist. You don't expect Andre to get on the stage. You don't expect none of that. Yeah. But I mean, look, if you look at all three of the artists, they can all like correlate. You don't have to be like hard rap, but they're all relatable and they're gonna speak something that's like in that positive black shit. That's what I'm about.
Okay, I mess with it. By the way, your special guest didn't just have to be one person. It could have been multiple people.
Cool, because I did have multiple people, but
You're just gonna leave it at that?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that, because you get Lauryn Hill on the stage, she ain't even mess with any of this. I want to see Lauryn. Oh, and that was the other thing. That's what I meant. Oh, special. All right, AJ doesn't like live music like that, right? I don't want to go to a concert and blast my ears because I have sensitive ears and stuff like that. Have you ever been to a house concert? Anyone? I've been to a couple of house concerts. That's a thing. Didn't know it was a thing, but I had white friends. They know about house concerts. I've been to house concerts. I want to have a house concert.
Like a rave?
No. A house concert is when you have a concert, but legitimately in someone's home that is large enough to support around 30 to 50 people.
I've seen that.
Like a basement show.
Yeah.
So this particular setup that you
Yes.
have would be in this.
And you see how it makes all kinds of sense now? Not a bunch, they ain't parading on the stage. A bunch of people ain't gonna jump up. It ain't gonna be Twisted and Friends. It's gonna be these artists at a house concert, and I think it'd be fudging fantastic.
I don't know if I put my event in a house concert, but intimate venues though are definitely the best.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Let's put the pressure on somebody. Gary Sway.
Okay, so my concert is about hardcore content and lyricism, and my opening act would be Slaughterhouse,
Okay.
and guests would include Mobb Deep, D Block, and G Unit,
All right. Okay.
and the headline would be Eminem performing his content from Slim Shady LP to Eminem Show.
I like how you limited. He can only perform. The contract says he can only perform these songs.
Just
Only these. Only these. No new material. No nothing. You just got to do.
Whoa, what's that song?
He can premiere one new song. That's it.
Right? You can premiere one.
One.
And it cannot be your automatic Rihanna feature that's going to be on that album.
Or Skylar Grey.
Or Skylar Grey. Neither one of them can't do it. All right. B. Will.
Well, I'm probably a little ways behind everybody else as far as just experience at concerts. I've only been to like 6 live concerts, so I wanna base it on what I've seen, but at the same time I want to base it because if I just base it on who I love, that doesn't mean that they're a good performer. So let me see. I'm going to put Kendrick Lamar in there.
As the opener?
No, he's a special guest. He's a special guest.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just working around. I'm not working in order. So, the opener is gonna be somebody who's fun, high energy, likable music. Not necessarily the most lyrical. I'm trying to think who that would be though. Man, it's tough. Jesus, man, y'all put me on the spot, man. Jesus. All right, okay, let's come back.
Hey, we can come back.
I'm gonna come back to opener. Yeah, I'm gonna come back to opener. Another special guest is going to be Cole, because I like Cole. The energy from a Cole show, when people who appreciate lyrics are all saying lyrics together, and that might just be any show, but that's like some of the most beautiful shit in the world. So he's definitely there. Come back to me on the other two.
All right, cool. Matt Dean.
All right. So my show is gonna be to see how many people we can get on a stage. So we're gonna start off with the Roots, opening with the Roots. Special guest, every member of Wu-Tang Clan. Anybody I'm literally, they can't get off the stage either. Like we're just gonna keep piling them on there. And then we're gonna close off headliner. You said Lauryn Hill. I'm gonna say a Fugees.
Okay. The man tried to one up.
I know.
I was thinking Fugees before you even said Lauryn Hill, and I was like, oh damn it.
All right, that's a good one. Richard Bailey.
Nobody can get off the stage. Like you literally just keep adding more. Like, oh, here's everybody from Wu-Tang, and like
Summer Jam, or
Dave Chappelle's block party.
Oh my goodness, that was such a great fucking event. But the Roots, I'm glad you mentioned them. They're in mine too, in a different slot, but I love the Roots, man. And who I pair them with, I think, is important. But Rich, you want me to come back to you?
I'm gonna say this, man. Matthew killed my pick as well, because the Roots were on my list too.
Damn.
Damn it. All right. I'll tell you what. That's good taste in music there, young sir. Man. Yeah, come back to me, because I got a few things that nobody said yet, but come back.
Okay. To me. All right, I got mine. So, if you know me, you probably know that Kendrick Lamar is going to be involved. He'll be the opener for mine. Probably to Pimp a Butterfly stuff, but he can do whatever the hell he wants. I'm perfectly fine with that. Do whatever you want. He'll open it. My special guest, 2 bands. It's going to be the Roots, and it's going to be NERD. And I've heard NERD live. NERD live is the best thing. Yeah, they are the best thing that I have heard live. And that was when I went to Kanye West's show. It was Lupe, Rihanna, NERD, and Kanye. And NERD blew it out of the water. I didn't want to see nothing. I'm glad they saved him for right before Kanye, because I would have left that month. Like, they blew it out of the water. But then my closer is Outkast, because I feel like, first off,
I'm looking Rich down in the corner like, damn, you stole another one from me.
Like,
no, you good.
Just in longevity since my lifetime, and just how entertaining their performances are and can be, I don't think there's anyone that I would rather have as a closer for a show. And like, I probably died that damn show. Just heart attack. Can't take it all.
I know.
Like, no.
That's why this was like, I completely understand.
Yeah, like that's a wrap. With those people, Kendrick setting it off, NERD and the Roots after that, and then Outkast. Like, I put it on mute, but I told him that I was getting sad because I'm probably never ever gonna see this.
Well, we ain't gonna see none of. I did the same thing. Like, dog. Okay. Let me tell you what I was going for, and that's why I wanted to set the scene. The whole house concert, intimate. Everybody's gonna. I'm thinking Kendrick Lamar's gonna open with Untitled, something like Untitled, or shit, get me Untitled.
He might just do a new song.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? Set the standard. You can go, and then Andre 3000. He ain't got to go do none of the hard stuff. You can give me. I'll be fine with Rosa Parks.
But you know what? All right. So my question for you: why just 3 Stacks and not Outkast?
Because I'm an asshole. When Big Boy did the purple ribbon and stuff like that, I feel as though his brand of rapping just wasn't suited to how I was feeling. Like, he was trying to hold on to him when they were still, young and doing it. Like, you're not there anymore, dog. So you gotta keep progressing. He didn't get deeper. Andre got deeper. Like, after having fucked Erykah Badu, I think his life changed, man. Like, you fall into some good pussy, and it's just like life changing. And I think it did. It did change.
It did change.
He did change.
He got
that's my dream show right there. So, B. Will, you ready?
Yeah, I got it. All right. I am going to open up with Project Pat. Because
Project Pat. Joe's not here.
Hey, he's giving us Joe's answer.
Because, listen, man, Project Pat had 2 albums, and you know what? I'm gonna split the opening between Project Pat and Juvenile. That's what I'm gonna do.
Hey, can I get some?
Hey, he did that
Juvenile.
just because he want to back that ass up to play at the opening part. So I can't even be
Can
mad.
I get some?
It ain't even that.
Crunchy Black.
It ain't even it. But yeah, Project Pat and and Juvenile. I'm not the biggest Quentin Black fan, but closing mine. I'm with you, Charles. Except it's gonna be Outkast, the entirety of Outkast, because when I think about an artist or a group who has stood the test of time, like their music, like everything is timeless. Nothing feels outdated when I go back to Southern Playalistic and AT Aliens. Aquemini is a classic. It's just like, man, look, AT Aliens is a classic if we being real, but
Yes,
the
buddy.
entire catalog, man.
Yes, buddy.
So that's mine right there.
Yeah. And then like Liberation, like if I could hear them do Liberation but have the Roots on the instruments and CeeLo and Erykah man.
CeeLo?
Yeah.
I should have threw Dungeon Family
She's
in.
good,
It's
Mom.
all
Dungeon Family, right?
But Future was part of Dungeon Family. I don't want him to be there. In the contract, it says you can't. All right, Rich, you don't have plenty of time now.
I have plenty of time. Plenty of time. By the way, I'm very surprised that none of you chose Iggy Azalea, because that was But for what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a different approach. Now, I'm going to have hip-hop, but I'm going to start with a little bit of soul. So, opening act, D'Angelo featuring the Robert Glasper Experiment.
Ooh.
Okay.
That'll be kind of interesting.
Okay.
I don't think the stage gonna be able to hold on at the top.
Oh, somebody gonna be pregnant.
Well, we'll get crazy. Oh, yeah. The special guest that will sort of transition that music over, I'm going to have my boy Kendrick performing with the Roots.
Okay.
Damn, we could do that.
I didn't even think about doing it. I didn't think about doing that.
Damn.
And the main star of the show, not to be disrespectful to Kendrick, because Kendrick is already on top, but the headlining act would be Nas.
I thought you were gonna say J-Rock. I was ready for it. I was ready.
So that would have been interesting. That would be very interesting if he was the headline.
Nah.
You know what?
Shouts out to that Nas. I didn't think to put Nas on there, but I finally did just get to see Nas live, and it was great. I'm very glad. But I think now there's no disrespect to your list.
Yeah.
I think the energy at the end of the show, I think a lot of ours that we are, like Lauryn Hill, having her up there, Outkast and stuff, I think they trump what Nas would do.
No,
Even though it would still be a good ass show.
Hey, I'm Rich. I'm so glad that boy said the Roots and Kendrick Lamar. That would be fucking magic.
Yes.
That would be cool, man.
Yo,
Now
don't
we
disrespect
need
Nas
to
like that, man.
we need to make a list. You know, you do realize Nas is my favorite MC ever, right?
Oh, yeah.
How'd you disrespect the god?
You can ask him if he has charisma on stage. He'll tell you the truth. Just saying. I mean, he's dope, but the live performance ain't it.
Toastmasters.
But man, that was great though, having all those concerts. That was
Hey,
dope as shit.
Rich,
Like,
boy, Rich, I thought I was the
Rich
best.
came out.
Rich, exactly. My
that
mind.
man said D'Angelo with Robert.
Yeah,
Glasper. I didn't
I
even
was
know you
like,
knew who that was.
First
man.
off, we gonna get y'all.
I know Robert Glasper
gonna blow y'all minds. Damn.
That thing ruled the world. All right, so let's move on to the big final topic of the day. This is something that I know B Will was involved. I don't know if he made the statement himself, but the question was asking, and Matt said at the beginning of the show, does a conscious topic equal better music? That can spawn off of our whole thing about the top 4 artists and being lyrically progressive, socially progressive, and stuff like that. But does that automatically mean better music? I'll start this off so everybody can have their time. My answer is fuck no, because Lupe, sorry I got to use him as an example, but the man has made some stinkers with some really, really nice messages. So like Lasers. That whole album is like a prime example of that. Because I mean, he was speaking some knowledge, but it's just not always entertaining. Uh, what's the song? Bitch Bad. So
I like that.
Bitch Bad was a message that needed to be said, but it was in such a shitty package that no one's going to experience it and be able to spread that message.
Wait a second. Bitch bad, woman good.
It was, and I understand what he did. He was trying to kind of mock the simplicity of hip hop at that time, but in the verses of that song, he was trying to force too much into those verses. He was saying he was rushing it and just compacting so much in there that you couldn't be entertained by it.
Right.
And it was like, you know, you have an artist. Some of us have tried to make music, and you'll sit there and write your verses, and you realize that some of this won't fit. Lupe was like, fuck that. Yeah. This shit is going to fit.
Yeah.
And more is going to fit, and he's going to get it out in this song, in this 3-verse deal. Like, that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
Shoot, the engineers in there like, Lupe can't.
It's too many syllables, brother.
We gotta.
It's too much.
But you just gonna keep going. Okay, right. We gonna record it. We just gonna put it out. You the boss, and that's what Bitch Bad turned into. So that's my answer. We'll come back around to everything. But be Will, go ahead.
I mean, I'm with you. It can't just be conscious. I think we kind of built up this anti bullshit layer of skin. It's like we just got so tired. For everybody who just grew up and we appreciate the lyricism of Biggie, we was all into the Eminem and Cannabis Wars, and everybody who rhymed and everybody who had a purpose. It's like we missed that so much during the bullshit, the dark ages, with all the dancing shit really popped off, and it was just about selling, that we were so happy to get anybody who really just wanted to either, you know what, you don't even have to talk about shit, just rap good. Can you do that? Anybody, it was like that was so refreshing for a minute, and now it's starting to come back around where people are coming from a different place, and I think that's really the biggest difference. It's like now you have a Cole. I don't consider Cole conscious at all. I consider Kendrick. He could fall into the category of conscious. However, Cole is not. Cole is just like, I'm a regular.
He's very human.
He's a human. Thank you. He's an accessible. He is a relatable person. And that's important. That's important. So I think the biggest difference is that we were so hungry for that stuff that we just celebrated in any form it came in, and that kind of backfired in a certain way because people started getting back pats and hand claps that, like, listen, man, I'm glad you're making a message, but it's some old bullshit. I don't want to hear this shit. And we're getting past that now. And so I don't think that a great message is necessarily indicative of better music, because you still got to have a fire beat. I mean, we did the thing where we outlined and we went over Kendrick's Good Kid, Mad City tracks versus To Pimp a Butterfly tracks, and let's be for real, Good Kid, Mad City, boy, that was just like some unfathomable heat on that bitch, and that's why it was a more accessible album.
Unfathomable heat on
with
that
the syllables.
That was
I cannot wait for the point where somebody can merge To Kill a Mockingbird, nigga. I'm literally like To Pimp a Butterfly.
I've
To Pimp a Butterfly
a Mockingbird a couple times.
Along with some just unrealistic production, that something accessible and something lyrical, because I really think they are opposite ends of the same spectrum, and you really have to be one more to one side or the other. But when somebody finally hits it right on the head and does both, god damn.
Can I say that I feel like somebody came dangerously close to it though?
Who was that?
You boy Lupe with the cool.
That was the closest. That was the closest, which is why it's so disappointing that, you know what, I ain't even talking.
Yeah, and probably the Roots came kind of close too, but I'm biased. I love the live instruments.
I feel like Atmosphere came pretty close. There's a lot of catchy atmosphere songs, but almost every single atmosphere song still has some sort of level of lyrical content.
What
That's
about
true. Slug is a ridiculously incredible storyteller.
He's an amazing storyteller.
Like, if more people knew about him, he'd probably be top 3 on a lot of people's lists as far as storytelling.
And he's actually not that bad at writing a hook either.
He's not. He writes some pretty clever stuff. Go ahead, Matt. Do you want to?
That was it, honestly. Like,
Oh, that's all. That's okay.
I just had a blurb to say.
All right, Rich.
Well, Gary was about to say something, so Gary, go ahead.
Yeah, in response to what Brian said, I was just gonna say, what about Common, Talib Kweli, Kanye West?
Uh-oh. Common?
Well, you know what? I'll say this. Common was that guy as far as content message. He came to the middle a little bit when Kanye started producing them, and it was a welcome change. Like, that was the balance right there. The balance was the album B and the album Finding Forever. Like, that was the middle ground. It was a perfect middle ground, I felt like. However, I feel like since he started acting, he wanted to have a more general appeal, and the message is not there anymore. It's just like, hey, I'm cool, make some songs. All right, that's it. And so he's not doing it now, but he was definitely teetering on that because the Kanye production, which we already know, outstanding producer, coupled with what Common did lyrically, that was a great marriage for while it lasted. Great. Fantastic.
Yes, absolutely.
It was.
Kweli, I think, was further away from it.
Yeah.
Except one particular time, eardrums.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eardrum was outstanding.
Eardrums?
Yeah.
Honestly, eardrums may have been closer to that marriage than the Cool was because Lupe went outside of hip hop for his sound.
I agree on that.
Yeah, I feel like Eardrums is underrated heavily because that album, it rode from beginning to end, and
It really did.
Yeah, and it was great topics. It was great. He also ran into the issue where he would try to force too much into his verses in the past, but that he had a balance on that album. He had the production on that album.
Yep.
Like, it was crazy.
On a side note, I remember when Eardrums came out.
I was just thinking that.
A bunch of I think it was MySpace.com at the time. They put together like a top 10 list. A bunch of artists put together their top 10 of the year, and I remember Talib put his own record on his top 10 for the year. So that made me like. Even though I liked Eardrums at that point, I had already heard it. I was like, really, man? Like, you're gonna put your own record on your top 10 list of records that came out that year? It's a little tacky.
Hey, man, do what you do. You may go stand for yourself.
I think it was like at number 3 or something like that too. It wasn't even like number 10. Like, he put it up towards the top of the list.
That's free advertising.
Hell yeah.
That's how you know you putting out good stuff.
You dare you to come argue with me.
You're right.
All right. Did I get to you? No. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes because I consider emotion to be conscious, and I feel as though emotion wholeheartedly makes for some of the best music. And having said that, even not in like hip hop, rap, and all that, right? Like the slow jams and the way music makes you feel and how you feel about it, like how you can be passionate about it. No one's passionate about Turn It Up. Nobody's passionate about bullshit like that. Like, yeah, we know You's a Big Fine Woman, won't you back that ass up? Yeah, it's fun and everything, but it's not something you be like, you know what? I could listen to that bitch for forever. No, it's stuff like
It's not timeless.
it's stuff like something that makes you sit down and like, fuck. You know, like I remember where I was when I heard that song, and I remember how it makes me feel. It takes me back. That's emotion, and that's a conscious thing, and I think it equals great music.
Okay. You beat me to it because I was going to come back around and be kind of a devil's advocate too. What I said earlier. I said, oh, go ahead, Rich.
Oh, no, you go first. I got something to say after that.
Okay. Because I said no, which I still believe the answer is does conscious topic automatically equal better music? I still stand by no. But to kind of bounce off what you were going to say, or what you did say, it does make the best. In the end of the day, the best music will have that emotion and have that conscious focus on it. Just because you take that, that's an element of it. You can't just have that and expect it to be better music. But I do think it's an element of what makes music better in the long run. But what were you going to say, Rich?
I was going to say, I didn't jump on this topic because I know I let Gary go, but I was going to say I do believe it can work, but it depends on the delivery. It depends on the music, the lyrics, all that type of stuff. Now, what you said earlier about Lupe, while I know that Bitch Bad is not a good example, man, Dumb It Down was an excellent song.
Hey, he ain't lying.
And that right there, because of all the stuff he was talking about, then they had the little video. I was glad they did a video for that. But
yeah,
that is a good example of it working. But again, you have to have a certain balance. Don't try to do too much of the conscious talking. I know in Kendrick's album, a lot of people didn't like that he had a lot of topics he was trying to throw out there through every song, and then you have a couple of playful songs. You have to balance that out because obviously everybody don't want to get that serious with the music. But yeah, it depends on the material. And then again, to bounce off of what AJ said about the emotion, yes, the emotion in talking about personal trials and tribulations in the music, that also is another reason why I say it can work. Because J. Cole's Wet Dream song, the way that song was put together as a story would have you think, yeah, he's talking about he's scared because he's having sex for the first time, but the whole time he's talking about this is what the girl is saying. So when it's put together like that, I think it works extremely well.
Yeah, I like that track too. That was one of my favorites on that record.
Yes, you got it.
Everybody liked that one. That's cool.
I did.
Honestly, one of my least favorite songs. That's my least favorite song.
It was alright. It was alright.
I honestly like skip it every time I listen to the album now.
I don't know about that, though. You know, damn.
I can let the album ride at this point.
No, you can't. Wait, you telling me you listening to Hello? You telling me you listening to Hello when you let the album?
Yes.
Man, it's anything I probably did skip it the most. That's probably my least favorite song.
Seriously? Wow. Well,
But I don't hate the song.
No, I mean I get it, but like most people, everyone that I was talking to, they're like, yeah, that Wet Dream song, man, I can relate. Like that ain't number one. That ain't how my first time was. I wouldn't just.
AJ got it took by some old lady at his mama house.
Boy.
I guess that's part of it too, though. What evokes emotion for me is not necessarily going to evoke motion for you, right?
Right.
But I think it's
that's
conscious.
what I'm saying. That's why I guess I don't relate to most people because like most people really like that song, but I kid you not, I'll listen to it later tonight and I'll still skip number 3.
AJ gonna put his own version out there.
That's how I am.
He's gonna submit it to Lupe.
No. My your 300-word essay is gonna be a little explicit.
Hold up. So wait. While we on this code, y'all also telling me that y'all listen to Get Off My Dick?
Yes.
Yes.
I do enjoy that song.
Yes.
Even more since the video came out.
All right.
Get on my dick.
It's like the hook was so abrasive. It's like the beat is so laid back. It's like bloom, 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 bloom. And then it's like, why are you yelling at me, dude?
I can't even lie. Like it's like Meek Mill rapping on like some R&B. Like he's gonna be yelling and it's gonna throw you off. But I appreciate it though. It gets my hype.
I ain't complaining. I'm blaming.
Whoa!
Get the fuck off my dick.
Thank you. All right. So, any last words on the conscious topic versus better music? No one. Good. All right. Well, that has been the show. There's some interesting topics. I'm sure that we're going to get some interesting comments on these topics once we post this up.
Get them Joe over topics, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Comments.
you know what? Oh, you know what? Matter of fact, all right. So I think him opening with Project Pat that took care of Joe's concert.
Yeah, sure
but
did.
Blue ain't here, Let me go ahead and drop what Blue's dream concert's gonna be.
It's your boy Blue.
It's your boy. Here's his show.
I'm gonna open with J. Cole.
You're gonna open with J. Cole.
My
special guest is
J. Cole.
And the closer will be
Nas rapping with J. Cole.
Hey, that would actually be dope. That would be so
J.
dope.
Cole gonna be tired? Like how much?
I mean the Nas and Cole combo.
No, you know what?
It's gonna be J. Cole DJing on the first
J.
one.
Cole got the rap game on his back right now. It's your boy Blue.
Go ahead, B. Will. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying the Nas and Cole combo, just because of the respect that has already been given and properly reciprocated. It's like that would be a great pairing right there.
That's
That would be dope. And also on top of that, if J. Cole was to handle the mixing of the music and actually blend their stuff so they can perform off of each other, that'd be fire.
Which is honestly why I wish Blue was here to explain that. He would have the greatest insight on why Nas and J. Cole would be good.
He gonna hear this and have.
I'd rather see Distant Cousins.
Like you mean I missed this episode?
What'd you say, Matt?
I would rather see Distant Cousins.
Aw, man, why you
I would rather see
hater?
him and Damian Marley, man.
Why you gotta be?
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I do wish
I would rather see that than him and J. Cole.
I could see 3-6 come back together.
He would have 3-6.
Yeah.
This and Cousins is dope, but that'd be a much shorter show than having Nas and J. Cole do.
They got
Just saying.
2 songs for you.
Well, you could get a 30-minute set out of that, no problem.
But that's the closer. I don't want to. Man, that's like when I got robbed by that Twisted show. We got 3 hours of the bullshit and 2 Twisted songs.
Hey man,
2.
put them on the intro. We just gonna put them on the hook.
And he rap fast.
Oh.
That's not a regular 2 song for regular people. That's real quick.
Have them play hype man throughout the show.
Word. But let's go ahead and get last words for the whole show. We'll start off with Richard Bailey.
Oh yeah, sorry that I got here late. You know, we had to take care of some business, but great to be on the show. Glad to talk with all you gentlemen and people. Please do leave a comment and let us know what you think of the topics. The topics were on point tonight.
Yeah, definitely. We want to know y'all dream concerts. As a matter of fact, hit us with the opener, the guest, and the headliner.
Good topic.
Yeah, Matt Dean.
I like that we're being more consistent about this. This is what 3-4 weeks in a row. Like you said at the beginning of the year, you're gonna record every week, even if it's just you sitting in the microphone.
Something is going to be
something is going
recorded
to happen every week. And I appreciate that it's actually happening because I didn't believe you.
Hey, you know what? I feed off of that. I love that. You ain't gotta believe, but I'm gonna be here. Shit, KOTT 29 might be me and AJ freestyling for like 15 minutes.
How you doing?
But is that your last statement, sir?
Yeah, that's my closing words.
All right, Gary Swavey.
Yeah, I hope everyone has their effing vodka ready.
Oh, about water.
Oh, and I also want to say it's good to be back on the show and look out for Knights of the Turntable Arena this week.
Word. We are bringing that back too. So y'all getting
What's that?
2? Yeah, technically you getting 3 shows this week. Oh,
That's
Arena.
the
I'm sorry, you
rap
don't know about that. That's the rap battle conversation.
Oh,
Yeah.
y'all rap battle.
No, we are not rap battling.
Okay,
We're just talking
alright,
about the rap battle.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. I was like, we get on and y'all freestyle like.
You don't want to get served. Matter of fact, last word.
All right, I'm just glad to be a part of something, man. I'm glad y'all would allow me to be back on the show. Y'all didn't get to the point where you're like, AJ, he's
Look, you
overly-
say that every week, like you
Because, man,
think we gonna kick you.
Hell yeah! Listen. I have to sometimes in real life you have to filter yourself. With great power comes great responsibility, and being me is great responsibility.
That ain't even laughable to me, man. Like I appreciate you saying that because I feel the same way every week. Like I'm just glad to be here and be part of something, and I think we all feel that way to some level.
Oh, I definitely feel that way. I'm glad that I can have this kind of conversation on this platform with people that I wish to have this conversation with. Because we can go to some places and talk to some people.
Oh, you talking about that guy? That we're talking about. We're not gonna say on camera.
We do not want to
Not
talk to
gonna
him
say
about hip hop ever
At
again
all.
in life.
So he's gonna be on the show next week, whoever this guy is, right?
He can't be not in my room.
Not in this place. This is a no flex zone.
I must
Is he
have
like
missed
the
that show.
crackhead that hangs out on the corner or something?
I am curious what he thinks about you.
That's why I really was like, we should have him come over, dog.
I ain't doing it though. B. Will.
Man, once again, it was a pleasure, man. It was good to have these conversations. Everybody get your Lupe tracks ready and send them in. I know everybody's gonna be working on some.
Was there a deadline on that?
June. Like June.
Yeah,
Yeah.
June 1st.
Oh, I got everything ready except for the acapella. I need to do that.
Get you burners.
No, stop. But I appreciate you all being on the show. I really enjoyed these topics. It was great. It was a great conversation. I'm glad that y'all keep coming back. Y'all say y'all glad to be on here. I'm glad y'all keep coming back to the show.
I'll be here every time.
Because I kid you not, every time right before the show starts, I'm like, man, ain't nobody gonna be here. It's just gonna be, today I was like, it's just gonna be me and you.
I'm here. You always got AJ.
But I appreciate y'all coming back. It looks like, I mean, we have more people that want to be on the show that just the schedules just don't match up. But we're going to get there, and I greatly appreciate it. And we will see y'all on next week for episode 26. We haven't come up with a really awesome topic for it yet, but I'm sure we're going to come up with some dopeness. And that'll be a live show on Friday. So we will see y'all next week.